Hello and welcome to this edition of the Grow With Moin Podcast. I am your host, Moin Suffer, and let's dive right into it. So today I want to touch on a couple of things. One is happiness, big topic. One is being your own best supporter. One is means goals versus end goals. And I think that's about it. So let's start with means goals versus end goals. So this is something I learned from Vishen Lakhiani's book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, and it's something that you may already know of or heard of from other people, but I'm going to put my own take on it and describe it to you the way I learned it. And so means goals is the way that we're taught to have goals. It's like, go to a college to get a degree. That's the goal, get a degree. And get a degree to get a job at company X, Y, or Z. So those are means goals. And they're functional. They're all right. But what they're missing is the vision. They're not truly visionary. So end goals are more vision central. So the way that works is that you think about not at what you want to have, like a meaning of like a house or a job or an X amount of dollars, but the experience you want to create for yourself. And so for me, it would be, I would ask myself what I want to be learning, how I'm learning that, who am I surrounded by, where I am, what am I doing? And it could be, I'm on a beach and I'm surfing and I'm surrounded by, all these teachers. And so it can be different for everyone. And I wasn't very clear on that vision, but the end goal is the experience you want to create for yourself. And the questions you ask for the end goal is what and why, right? And the difference between that and the mean goal is, for mean goals, you ask how and when. Mean goal, I want to get a degree. How? Well, I will enroll in this program. By when? And, you get a mean goal. But the what and the why is more visionary, like I said. And it can skip the how and the when. And it can be 2 steps ahead. And whatever's in the middle, the end, the experience that you've created for yourself, the lifestyle, it will propel the middle steps itself. So that's, in a nutshell, my take on end goals and mean goals. And why I think end goals are important is because you get to create, first of all, an experience that you want for yourself, that you think would benefit you the most. So it's not a particular thing, it's an experience and a feeling. And so it's not attached to 1 or 2 things, and which may or may not work out. It's the end experience. And then this is a good segue to something I want to talk about, which is attaching emotions to your goals. Now, it makes sense to do that because for a lot of people, it's the driving force, but it's not the most, how do I say this? It's not the most efficient way for you to set yourself up. Now, here's the thing. When I wrote this book, Grow With Your Baby, 7 lessons on how to embrace change and overcome your fears, I had a goal. And that was for it to hit a bestsellers list, right? And I attached a feeling to it. It's like when it hits, number 1 on the bestseller list, I will be happier by this much, okay? And the problem with that was that, well, it wasn't a problem, but it's something that you experience when you get there, and it becomes a problem. So when my book reached the number 1 spot in happiness on Amazon, I thought I'd be happy, and I was, but for 24 hours, and then it was gone. And I thought to myself, now what? I thought I'd be happier, and I was for a small period of time, but now that goal is accomplished, now what? What can I do to be happy? And then it's always about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And it's always something outside of. If there's something that you really want to do and you don't have a conversation about it with someone who's actually done it, it's going to be a very difficult path. And that's something that I've learned through my experiences, of writing a best-selling book, of starting and failing at a business, of starting this podcast and learning how to interview and be interviewed on other podcasts. And so I want to tell you that I had help. I had a lot of help to get to where I am today. And I want to offer that back to you. Everything that I've learned through my experiences, hundreds of hours of personal development, and having something in mind and actually going out and doing it, I want to offer that back to you. So if there's something that you really want to do and you think I can help you out with that, reach out to me and book this 30-minute call. It's absolutely free. There's no commitment, and I'm not going to sell you anything here. All I'm doing is seeing if there's any way I can add as much value to your life as I can. So if you're interested in that, click that link and let's start talking about your dreams. You're right. When I achieve this goal, when I start this business, when I make this amount of money, I will be happier by, an X amount. And so what I want to bring your attention to is that, happiness does not have to be attached to achieving these little goals. Yes, it gives you a little bit of a boost, and obviously you get a feeling of accomplishment, but happiness is inner work, and it is something that you have to be while you're on your way to your goal. So in short, do not attach your happiness to you achieving or not achieving your goals. And if you're already happy on the way there, you're going to be more efficient while you're on your way there. And there's been research done, and Vishen talks about it in his book, and a lot of other leaders talk about it, that happier people are more productive. So think about it this way. If you're waiting to be happy when you're achieving this goal and you're not happy on the way there, you're going to be less productive and in essence, in your own way, in trying to get to that goal. So if you're already happy when you're getting there, whether you achieve that exact same thing or whether it's something else, you're still happy, and that's something that I've not mastered yet. And it's a lifelong process. But once you're aware of it, you start to put the practices in that fills your cup so that extrinsic goals, they still matter, but you're happy on the way there, and as a result, more productive. So I hope that makes sense. I wanted to clarify that, and something that really feels and rings true for me. And I thought about it in terms for my book as well, that when I was in the process of writing it, I was actually really happy doing it. It was really fulfilling for me. But then I added that, once I finish it and it reaches this spot, I'll be that much more happier. But it wasn't the case. I was already happy getting there, and then I had this expectation of this emotional burst, or sort of an emotional orgasm, if you will, to that goal, and it was attached to it. And oftentimes it's not going to get there. Maybe it's close, but it's not going to be sustainable. And I just wanted to highlight that. I hope that makes sense to you. If you're someone who's struggling with this, just know that happiness is not a straight line. It's not like that. It's a bit of a bumpy ride, but the baseline keeps increasing once you're putting those practices in that are going to make you happy. And the next part is that being your best supporter around this. So for me, going for walks in the morning makes me really happy. It makes me feel grounded. And then I meditate after that, and I don't look at my phone until I'm done with those practices. And my day goes by really, really well. But there are days when I wake up and I'm on my phone. And that day is usually not as productive and it's a bit chaotic, and I know exactly why. But just know that you are human, and everybody who's out there doing this, they're human too. A lot of the times we forget that people out there, they are human. And the companies, they are also run by human beings. And so be kind to yourself. And best of all is if you can fix that internal dialogue that you have, because I know that nobody's harder than you are on yourself when you fall behind on a practice or you don't achieve your goal. And just know that you're human and it's a process. It is a process. If there's anything that you're going to take away from this, just know that this is a process and it takes time, and it helps if you're kind to yourself. Like, you know what? I messed up. I fell behind, and that's okay. I believe in myself and I'm going to continue doing it. And then you move on. And that way you're happier getting there. That's it for today, guys. I hope this little bit of nugget helps and it made sense. If it did, and if it did not, do let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And until next week, have yourself a great day. Oh, by the way, I got this shirt for the podcast. Really excited for it. Let me know what you guys think. Take care.